my name is Mo and I am a sex therapist, and this is my YouTube channel, the Sex Talk series, where I educate on all things sex, relationships, dating, and more from a mental health lens and from a sex positive lens. So thank you for joining me on my channel. Please subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so that you can get notified when I have a new video out. I'm currently in the midst of doing a shame series where we talk about anything and everything, mostly sex and relationship related, but I'm also doing some other stuff too around therapy, mental health, stigma, and in this particular case, we're talking about shame around virtual therapy.
Sex Talk.
I personally am a huge fan of virtual therapy. Consider this. Consider the fact that many therapists say they get a much better picture or idea of the client when they're sitting face to face with the client in the office. Consider this point. What if we're actually robbing our clients of some aspect of independence by requiring them to have face-to-face sessions? So I know I'm doing the shame series. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I was shamed for many years because I liked to do therapy online. Yeah, I was shamed for many years from the therapy community. I got kind of looks, and in fact was told many times that I shouldn't be doing that it was unethical. Even from clients that would reach out to me, potential clients that would reach out to me, and I would offer them, the opportunity, the option of doing Skype. We didn't have Zoom back then, but I did Skype sessions, and people a lot of times just weren't interested in it. Clients weren't so much shaming me for it, but I definitely felt a little bit ashamed from, like criticized, kind of like, that's not legal, or that's not what therapy really is. I felt like a very snobbish sort of a mentality towards virtual therapy, which I started doing in 2007, but my clients loved it. And the clients that wanted it, the clients that reached out to me, and the clients that found me, whether it was via phone, whether it was via video, they loved it. And it allowed me to start coaching people outside of my state, because I'm a licensed therapist within the state of California. But in California, there are quite a few sex positive sex therapists, and yes, people definitely still need sex positive sex therapy in California, and there's no shortage of clients there. When I do have a practice and I do work out of my Los Angeles office, for example, I'm typically pretty full. But since COVID started happening, I started working from home, as did my entire team of therapists. And we have been fuller than ever. And everybody is starting to recognize that mental health and therapy doesn't have to be coaching, can happen via virtual. It's better than nothing, of course. I know a lot of therapists still believe if they could do it, they would love to do it their way in the office with the client, sitting on the couch and things of that nature. And don't get me wrong, I see the benefit to that, but I find that it's a little bit limiting. I think that there's only so much we can do in an office. I love the idea of virtual. Virtual allows my client to have a little bit more flexibility and freedom, and me too. I'm a therapist, I'm a coach, but guess what? I'm a human being too at the end of the day. And if you want your freedom, can you imagine? So do I. I do. And I really appreciate being able to do sessions out of doors, somewhere quiet, of course, so I wouldn't, jeopardize anyone's confidentiality, but the beach, a nice isolated beach, the backyard on a nice sunny day, those are all lovely places to have therapy. Another thing that I have been seeing a lot more of, which I love, is taking walks with your clients. Like, let's get out of the office. My idea of getting out of the office I've been doing for a long time. And it's really unfortunate that really only within the last couple of years have I seen more like walk therapy type things. And only during COVID have I seen this complete shift to virtual and online therapy. So are we going back to traditional therapy? Well, that's up to you, and that's up to your therapist, and up to you if you are the therapist. But I personally, I like this, and I've been doing it for a long time. I am not opposed to seeing people in the office once in a while, here and there, but I don't think that it has to be the one and only way in which we conduct therapy and in which we sort of start taking care of our mental health. Think of this other thing also. When you are doing therapy on Zoom, you are more responsible for your life. It feels like there's a lot more coddling going on in the office when a therapist is in the office. Gosh, I'm gonna get so much. I can already hear all the therapists disagreeing with me. They're not coddling. Okay, they're not coddling. Yes, you get more body, you get more, you can see body language. You can definitely see that more when you're you can see affect. You can smell. If a client hasn't showered in several days, that could indicate something. But to me, I think, yes, while we can be curious about all of those things, we can also ask our clients. And I understand too that disability plays a role, but requiring a disabled person also to come into your office and not offering this type of service, I also think is a disservice. So I just want to do a brief one, just want you to start thinking about where therapy is going and where you would like to see therapy go, and what is therapy? Is therapy this thing that was developed by these old white men in, Freud and Yalom and all the theorists that I love, to be done on a couch? Or is there flexibility and room for us to do things that feels a little bit more in tune, authentic with the type of work that we do, with the type of clients that we serve, with the type of therapists that we need if we're the clients? I think that there's a lot of room for virtual therapy, and I'm not saying it's going to be for everyone, but I think that it's going to be for a lot of people. We can come together in a way that we have never been able to before by doing it virtually. And so I really just wanted to throw this quick piece out there. I love virtual therapy. I do consider myself more of an educator, coach, than an actual therapist that sits with you for weeks on end discussing the same topics. I'm more directive, I'm more goal-oriented, I'm definitely do short-term. So there's a type of therapist that virtual therapy I think works for, and not all therapists are like that. So that's something also to keep in mind. The other thing is too, the work that I do is more about dismantling myths and societal oppressions, and that's the type of work that needs to be done on a much broader scale. So I think doing virtual sessions for clients is, you reach a broader audience that way too. So that's my little spiel for today. I hope you are enjoying this channel. I hope you're enjoying the shame series. Please submit your topics down below, and we will start tackling more and more topics around shame. Thanks.
Sex Talk.